Now you just can't leave.
All right, Harry Mack here, as always, with a very, very special guest. We're here in the house that RoC built, here with King of Albania, the King of Long Island, friend of the program, Dennis Buzukja. Dennis, how we doing, brother?
I'm great, brother. I'm great.
We'd love to hear it. We're gearing up for the first title defense of your featherweight.
Second title.
Second defense.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot there was in between promotions and shit for a little bit. Yeah, you bounce around, but that's right. Second title defense.
Yeah.
Josh Rohler, Ring of Combat at the Tropicana on Friday night. I know you're ready, Dennis. So how you feeling going into the fight? How was training camp?
I feel good, man. I feel good. Camp has been well, thank God. You know, I could say like not really any injuries. I finally got my lungs opened up again and everything. Yeah. So that was like always my biggest thing. And I got my gut also, like my lungs and my gut I was having problems with. So everything's been good, man. Thank God. You know, I hit a good stride. I stayed active after the last fight, just kept training. So I'm like building up. You know, before it was like I couldn't get past this peak. Now like I broke through it and I'm building up on top of each. You know, every month that passes, I'm stepping it up. Yeah.
There you go. And yeah, I mean, since we last had you on, you had a 1 minute and 6 second knockout in that first title defense at Ring of Combat there. So I mean, going into that fight, at what point, you know, fight only lasted a minute, clearly. So not too much to work off of, but at what point going in there did you just know, all right, this guy is he just doesn't have it for me. He's got nothing for me.
When did I have that? Honestly, around the same time that I'm feeling now. Like,
okay.
It was like a few days before the fight, cutting weight, you know, and like when I cut the weight, it's just like my mind goes into a different place. And I knew I put all the work in. I know like how hungry I am, how motivated, how focused, how skilled I am. And I know I put the work in. So I know because I put the work in, I can just go in, give it 100%. And as long as I give it 100% and everything I got, there's no way the guy can beat me. You know, whoever's in front of me. As long as I give it 100% and believe in what I do, then I really don't see anyone beating me.
There you go. And like how nice is it, you know, Ross and I, we were lucky enough to be at that fight. We saw the, you know, whole team, squad deep, which is always awesome to see. And I mean, you know, how nice is it for you to have like all these guys, you know, you got Weidman coming up from Carolina. I know he's got his boy Tom Lane was on that card too, but you know, he cornered you. You got Al there for you. You got Ray, Matt, the whole squad. I mean, how does it feel to just kind of have like such an awesome support system in place?
Yeah, you know, like it's a huge motivation during training, you know, before I go to bed. I'll think about it when I wake up in the morning, when I'm driving. It's a huge motivation, you know, especially like just the thought of having guys like Matt Serra, Ray Longo, Ali Quinta, Aljamain Sterling, Marab, Chris Weidman, like to come and support me and be happy to be a part of my journey. It's so motivating and humbling. It makes me want to work so much harder to not waste their time, to make them proud, you know, it's kind of like they brought me up, you know, so it's just a huge motivation for me, and it's a huge confidence boost too when I'm in the cage and I know what they've accomplished and what they've been through, like, you know, because everyone has nerves, so I fall back on them as support, you know, just looking at them. They don't know it, but just their presence gives me confidence.
Kind of a grounding thing.
Yes, grounding. That's a great word. Grounding is a good word I was looking for. I say humbling, but grounding is very good. You know, it doesn't let me get like too high up or get full of myself. And I put myself in check with that. But it's insane, you know. Plus the Albanians, and it's just
so I'm sure it is easy to like let it all get to your head.
Yeah.
You know, and you were talking about, you know, you're selling a ton of tickets. You got like all these, you know, you got all your Albanians coming out to support you. I'm sure, you know, it's easy to walk around like, oh, well, my shit don't stink. But
I mean, I guess for some people, but like, I know where I come from. I know where my parents come from. The way they brought me up. You know, people. Everyone loves you when you're winning. You know, if I lose or if I'm losing or whatever, then, you know, which is understandable. Everyone wants to support the winner and see you doing good. But I just keep myself in check. I don't really let myself get too crazy, like, oh, I'm the man or whatever. Because in reality, for what I want to accomplish, I didn't accomplish shit. You know, like, Ring of Combat champion is nice. It's a nice thing. I made it to Contender Series. But, like,
that's not the end game.
No, not at all, man. And the UFC isn't the end game either. I want the UFC. I want featherweight, lightweight, welterweight championship. I want to be the one to secure that, to be the megastar, to be the king, you know, like modern day Alexander. That's what I picture myself as. So
there you go.
You know, I'm just a conqueror. I just want to conquer everything that I set my foot in.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. You love to see that because I think you need that sort of you do need that like confidence and that drive to succeed in this game. You know?
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of guys who just like they're content to settle with what they
bro.
have.
Man, there was a saying. It's like I can't remember the exact saying to word for word it, but it's kind of like being content is the killer of all motivation, you know, is a motivation killer. Something like that. There's a saying along those lines, which just made me think of it. But
it's like
true,
comfort
you know?
is the enemy of
yeah,
like progress,
something, you know, like never comfortable, never satisfied, never content, you know, with myself. Even like the last fight, I had the 6-second knockout, and I'm like, all right, what could I have done better? You know, like I made a mistake here, or you know, if this guy did this, I wasn't ready for it. You know, like just stuff like that.
Right.
So there's always something to clean up. You know, I got to give myself credit when it's due, but also not get too comfortable and happy with myself.
So yeah, like we said, got to stay grounded. You know, you appreciate the achievements, but you recognize that there's still so much more to achieve.
Way more. Yeah,
stay
on to
hungry.
the next. Yep.
So I guess you touched on your appearance on the Contender series there. You fought a tough opponent, Melsik Bagdasaryan, who's I believe now 2-0 in the UFC, right?
2-0, yep.
Yeah, and so. I mean, obviously, I feel like in the moment it's very hard. You know, you lose a fight, it's tough. It's a big setback on a big stage. But do you feel like there were positives that you gained from losing that fight?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest confidence that I gained was knowing I could take shots like that and not even take a step back.
He's putting people out in the UFC.
100%. So I didn't take a step back, you know what I mean? He came at me really hard. He hit me with some hard shots that I think if it was another man would have crumbled, gave up, or even just went out.
Right. And you won that third round. I don't give a fuck what the judges say.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people thought the second round, people thought the third. You know, yeah, it's so interesting, bro.
I thought that was like, I remember we were talking to Ray about it, like that being a 30-27. Like, listen, I wasn't going to sit here and be like, no, Dennis won that fight. You know what I mean? Like, we can all.
I definitely don't think it was a 30-27.
Right. No, not at all. Like, you can acknowledge that, no, I probably didn't win that fight. But, judging is just a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Like, what fight are you watching?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, you know. I don't think I did enough to win the fight. You know, just in terms of as a fight, maybe on points, like it depends who you ask. Like maybe the second round I landed more takedowns, controlled him a bit more.
Right.
And then third round I had the Kimura, the submission attempt. I came out strong.
Right.
You know
like, I thought that Kimura was like, I think that was of the entire fight. I think that sequence was the closest that the fight came to ending.
Yeah,
which I think counts for something.
Yeah,
like, when you're talking about damage and like the actual scoring criteria, like that should be the third round for me. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's done. You know, I never complained about it. I'm not that type to complain. No excuses. It is what it is. You know, I didn't do enough at the end of the day. Even if it was a split decision and I lost or I thought I did enough, at the end of the day, I didn't do enough, you know, to say I won the fight.
Right. And they say, don't leave it up to the judges.
Don't leave it to the judges, yep.
There you go. So back to this fight this weekend. Josh Rohler, 6'4", he's a game opponent. So what do you think is your biggest advantage coming into this fight?
My biggest advantage right now going into it, I would say, is my mentality more than anything. I'm coming off a big win. I just got chills just thinking about like how motivated I am. I think just my mentality and my focus, ready to go. I put the work in, and I want to let it go. You know, this is the most healthy I've been, the strongest I've been, the smartest I've been, the most experienced. So every day that passes, it gets worse for my opponents. You know, I'm only getting better, stronger, faster, and I just can't wait to let it go.
There you go. I think we see you in here working with Aljo and Marab and Frivola and all these killers. And I think it's easy for all of us to forget that you are 24 years old.
24, yeah.
Fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. But yeah, a lot of space to still get better, man. And still constantly improving. But so. See, 6-2 now, 3 finishes, right? Big fight coming up this weekend. Regional champion, had the appearance on the Contender series, didn't go great, but it's got to feel like you get to 7-2, another flashy finish, like you're knocking on the door of something bigger, right? So I guess if this fight goes according to plan, what comes next for you?
Like my managers and a lot of people keep mentioning UFC and Dana White, this and that, Sean Shelby. A lot of people, I'm not really one. I learned my lesson from the Contender Series fight, I was looking a little bit ahead. Like when I got the call and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be in the UFC.
Right.
My life is going to change. I did it so young. I forgot to look at the mission, which was in those 15 minutes, I got to focus on slip the left, come back with the right hand, knee, shoot for the
Real
takedown, head
technical
outside.
stuff.
I forgot the technical work that needs to be done to make the rest happen. So I try not to look too ahead. Obviously, Josh, I'm not sleeping on him or underestimating him at all. But the UFC, a lot of mentions of the UFC, people mentioning it. Nothing from there.
Many people are saying.
Yeah, a lot of people. Honestly, I'm a little surprised, but many people from the outside are saying it. There's other promotions out there. Let's see what happens. God willing, I get a big, nice victory in the first round. I come out healthy, and we'll see what happens from there. I would love UFC as an option. There's another promotion in Europe that I've been kind of thinking about looking at.
Okay.
But I won't mention their name yet. So let's see. Let's see. I don't want to talk.
Competition is good. Options are good. Right?
What's the saying? Like, don't count your chickens before they hatch or something?
Exactly, yeah. You got to do the work first.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I guess you kind of answered my next question was going to be, what does the ideal year look like for Dennis Buzukja? What does the ideal 2022 look like for you?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. So when the year started, I had set my goal that I want to get to the UFC, and I want to have made $150,000 this year in the UFC.
Okay.
Considering being super active and the bonuses.
I was about to say, that's those
a big
new
number,
guy contracts. That's a lot of bonuses.
Yeah. I think I got the style for the bonuses. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I'll pull out the knockouts.
That's a spinning elbow like you did in RoC. You hit that in the UFC, and a star is born.
Right. Even the Contender Series fight, that was fight of the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just now the last fight performance of the night, I would think so. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think I have what it takes to pull those kinds of numbers off. Plus the star power with the Albanians that I have to support. Which is why I say, like, Paradigm, my management picked me up. They got Conor and Izzy. And they say I got, like, that McGregor thing with the Albanians, with the support. So that's another grounding factor, too, that motivates me. And I want to live up to what people say about me. That's a huge motivation for me, is living up to people's expectations.
Right. Hey, you got a whole country's expectations on your shoulders.
Yeah. They're on my shoulders, man. I can't let them down.
That's right. Got to do them proud. And I'm sure you will, brother. But so, I guess outside of the cage, too, you've, it seems like you're one of these kind of next generation of fighters who's kind of starting to understand that, like, maybe the best move is, like, yes, make money in the cage, fight, dedicate yourself to that craft, but, like, that doesn't mean that you can't also make money outside the cage and with, like, other ventures. Like, I know you got the real estate going, you got the payment processing stuff going. It's like, how'd you get into all that?
I just have an open mind to everything. I'll listen to everyone. I'll listen to even a bum on the street, a guy talking to himself. I'll listen to what he has to say. I'll hear it. Or I should say I'll hear it. And then I'll pick and choose what I want to take in and what I don't. If it's just some mumbo jumbo, I'll just toss it out. But I'm open to everything. So, with so many Albanians supporting me, networking and meeting new people, and I'm very open to people when they introduce themselves to me or when I come across new people. I'm very open to them. I'll have conversation with everyone. I don't. I'm not cold.
You didn't have to be so friendly to a couple of idiots who sent you a DM. So I can vouch for that one.
Yeah. So I always try to be as friendly as I can, just because that's how I would like to be treated also. So, people. I'll talk to people. What do they do? Or I'll just get information from people and I'll learn new things. So
all about different perspectives.
100%. And networking, I think, is a major thing. So when I had broken my leg about 2 years ago, Al told me, in the time that I'm doing nothing, take the real estate course, 75 hours. So I did that. That's how I got my real estate license. I actually wanted to invest in Bitcoin ATMs throughout the city.
Okay. I've seen a couple like gas stations and shit like that have them.
But not many. Everywhere you look, there's a regular ATM, but not Bitcoin where, let's say I have Bitcoin and I have profit on Bitcoin. When people make profit on stuff like something like crypto, they splurge,
Right.
So my mentality was maybe get some Bitcoin ATMs.
Make that money like more accessible for people.
Yeah, let them go deposit the Bitcoin for cash. So, and then I get the Bitcoin, and then over time, Bitcoin goes up, and I'll make the $1,000 that I got as Bitcoin be $2,000 in a year or so. You know what I mean? Or
passive
2 years.
Income.
Exactly. So it was just a thought. So I was talking to some people about that, and then they had brought up the payment processing thing to me as another venture, and I knew a kid that had done it. So I started talking to him, and he kind of got me into it. So I've been doing that. I got a few accounts, and it's nice because like people I know, because of the network, so many Albanians own businesses. It's nice to keep it together, you know, with Albanians.
Yeah, and to keep it in house.
Yeah, and if I could save the money, I only tell them like, yo, if I can save you money, then then we'll talk. If not, I don't want to waste your time. Just give me the opportunity to see if I can, and if the numbers match and you're happy with the numbers, then we could talk. But otherwise, I wouldn't expect someone to take their time out of their day and switch to me and let me do the process if they're not saving money.
Right. If it doesn't benefit both of you.
Yeah, it has to benefit both. I wouldn't expect someone. I wouldn't ask that of someone if it didn't.
Right. Oh, that makes sense. I think that says a lot about you as a person. Very considerate of other people and of other people's time. Because I feel like you get plenty of shysters who are like, oh, this is my next venture.
100%.
You should put money in. You should buy into it. Like, talking real fast and selling some snake oil.
Yeah. So I was at my dentist office today for the PCR test for the fight.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you got it done at the dentist?
I mean, I'm sorry, my doctor. I'm sorry. That's so funny.
I had to process that for a second. Like, wait just a second.
What kind of shady shit is going on?
What kind of dentist you going
to? I meant my doctor, though. So, he was telling me he had invested in a restaurant that was pretty, it was on the news when it opened in Staten Island. It was on the Staten Island paper, it was called Daddy-O's. I don't know if it's a popular thing, Daddy-O's. I had never heard about it until that time, but it opened up in a popular location that was supposed to blow up. Everyone was talking about it. So he had invested $1 million into it or something like that. And the partner ditched him. So he got left with $1 million in tax debt, all under his name.
Very friendly.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? So I'm like, wow. It blew my mind, bro. I was snakes, like, it's crazy.
People are snakes. It's crazy. It's the people you know, the people you trust, man.
Yeah.
That's how they get you. But no, luckily we don't got to worry about that. We got good heads on our shoulders.
Yeah, I got good people around
character.
me. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the people around you, man, what does it feel like to just kind of, it feels like right now more than ever, Law MMA, the SerraLongo team, it feels like there's so many guys who are right on the cusp. You know what I mean? So what does it feel to be part of that kind of next generation of talent coming up? Not obviously Aljo's the fucking champ.
Yep.
You got Favola just won a massive fight.
Yeah, huge.
Al just retired, but hell of a fucking career. But now we got you coming up. We got Charlie coming up.
Yeah.
Kumi, Nas, Kid, Aviv, bunch of killers.
Yeah, so many, bro. Yeah, I think with the next generation, it's just, it's our time. It's a big year for us. Like you said, every single person.
I keep hearing all the chants, UFC year, UFC year.
Yeah. It's like a joke we keep saying, but it's big things for all of us. We're all 1 or 2 wins away, I think, from regardless, it's a big doors are going to open up for the guys.
You're all right on the cusp of big opportunity, whatever that may be.
Exactly. So we climbed up through the ranks. We did what we had to do, built a name, built a record and a resume. So now, 1 or 2 more for everyone, and I think it's a big opportunity, whether it's UFC, Contender, Bellator, or whatever.
There you go, man. And there's options out there these days. It's a growing sport.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I saw you're doing a little bit of work with a regional promoter out here too.
Yes.
Huh?
Yep.
So tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah. So he's an Albanian guy. Actually, I'm pretty cool with him. It's called RoC Fighting Championships, RFC. So he had 2 shows so far. And I had always wanted to start up my own promotion later on, towards the end of my career or after.
Right.
Just to keep it because of my knowledge with the game, my experience, and make money as a business and give young guys the opportunity to grow.
Yeah, I feel like we see more and more fighters doing that now. Usman's got his promotion in Nigeria. You got Masvidal on Icon. Yeah. Khabib's got Eagle. Everyone's got their thing.
It's really interesting.
I think Conor's got 1 fight left on his deal, and I think he's just going to start his own thing.
Really?
Honestly.
That would be insane if he did.
Look, if I'm Conor McGregor, he's bigger than the promotion.
Yeah,
right? He's one of very few guys who, if Conor walks out that door tomorrow and says, all right, I'm doing McGregor FC, I'm the main event, and I'm going to fill it out with a bunch of my pals, that shit'll sell.
It'll sell 100%. Anything he does will turn to gold.
Exactly.
He's like a leprechaun, Anything he touches.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
There you go.
He got the pot of gold. Yeah, he's the man. He's the man.
But so I guess you're just getting into the promoting game a little early.
Yeah. I mean, the opportunity. So he brought it up to me. Maybe we could partner up. So after the fight, we're gonna meet and really go over it. But I was supporting anyways. But I would really like to. Pretty much, we're gonna just figure everything out so we can partner up and go forward with it, you know. So it's something to do on the side of fighting, tied into the martial arts game. That won't distract me. You know, it's not like I'm training for a fight and then I go bartend or something in the weekend. You know, it's like two completely different worlds.
Right.
So
Still
nothing wrong with
working in
bartending.
fighting.
Yeah. You know, nothing wrong with bartending because that's something I was looking at to do too. I had taken classes and stuff, but at least it still pertains to fighting.
Right,
you know?
right.
So,
You're still in that world.
yes,
kind
yes.
of,
So
and
my
you're
mind is
making
still in it.
connections,
Yes,
like all that.
Yeah, my mind's still in it. I'm not like I don't have alcohol in front of me or girls or drugs. You know, it's all like I said. It just keeps me grounded. It keeps my head in the game,
Totally.
which I think
that.
is important.
Totally feel that. All right, man. Well, you have been very generous with your time, as always,
Thank you,
Dennis.
bro.
I think that's about it for me. Anything you want to plug before I let you go?
You know, always, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to every Albanian in the world, every supporter, everyone who buys tickets to my fights, who believes in me. My family, of course, number one. God before anything. My girlfriend, she supports me so much. You know what I mean? And it's hard for her too. She's not used to this kind of stuff.
I'm sure.
So, my sponsors, Guzman, Linde, Core, Dr. P, Joe Spinelli with Gold Coast Funding, TV Alb, of course, Echo, Leo, Benji, Dreshai, just amazing people all around, man. You know, Black Tie Protection, Steve Hennessy is a security company. They walked me out the last fight. It was so sick.
Oh, yeah, I remember those guys.
It's so sick. You know, all these guys believe in me, man. You know, and they support me, and they're just pushing me to keep going. You know, like when I want to slow down, or you know, maybe because we all have crazy thoughts. You know, so they give me that push.
Giving up is the easiest thing you can do. They
100%.
say.
Yeah. So you know, they're always behind me to push me, and this is a cutthroat game, man. This is not an easy game. So
That's a
they're
fact.
there behind me, supporting me, and I love every single one of them. You know? My family, to my girlfriend, to every sponsor, and Albanian, and you for wanting to do the interview. Like, I'm super grateful for everyone. You know.
Absolutely, bro. And we are grateful for you. We appreciate it.
Thank
But this Friday, Tropicana. If you can get out to AC, get out there. If not, I think it's on Fight TV, right?
FITE.TV.
FITE.TV. You can throw Dennis in there for your favorite fighter buying the pay-per-view.
Do they do that? They
I think so.
Yeah?
Maybe
I didn't
not.
know that.
Maybe not.
I haven't
I'm
checked
just
it.
used to most regional MMA.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming. But,
They should do that. They should.
yeah, they fucking should.
Yeah, give me a part of that.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, we very much appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, bro.
And,
I appreciate you,
a
man.
pleasure as always.
Likewise, man.